It's your girl. You already know. E to the B to the Breezie. Okay. So in this video, quick video before my client comes, I want to discuss how saying no, okay? N-O, a full sentence, a full expression, no, can build your confidence. Hey Chanel, hey Daisy. What's going on, you guys? What is up this Thursday afternoon? What's going on? Well, this evening. Now, my client is scheduled to come at 7 p.m. And y'all know I'm doing Ramadan right now. And I didn't eat all day. I drank some water because I'm taking probiotics. So I be wanting to, drink my water with it. Hey, Queen. And when my client comes, I'm not going to finish her hair until like 10 o'clock. And then I have another client coming, and I'm not really going to have no time to really sit and enjoy my food. So I'm going to have to order some food right after this. But Chanel, I'm doing great. How about you? I'm doing amazing. I'm doing amazing. I did get today started kind of late. I really should have did my makeup way earlier and went live way earlier. But whatever, I'm here. I wanted to get this idea out and get this discussion going before my client gets here because I was in a rush yesterday and I'm about to be in another rush today. But let's talk about it. Hey, Karen. Hey, Karen loves makeup. Ow. Hey, beautiful. Thank you. So in this video, we're going to talk about how saying no, okay? N-O, saying no, can build your confidence, all right? Now, the problem with a lot of people, right, is because we want to please the world, because we want to satisfy everybody and their grandma and their daddy and their auntie, we don't have boundaries, right? When you don't have boundaries, this is actually a lack mindset, right? Why is that, right? When you don't have boundaries, you are afraid to put your feelings first. You are afraid to put your needs first because you have a fear that you're going to lose someone or lose an opportunity. So instead of having an abundance mindset, meaning if this person doesn't align with me, I can just find another one, or I will align with another one, or just because this opportunity doesn't align with me, I can find another one. You try to grab it and hold it and keep it real close because you're afraid that you're not going to find another opportunity. So instead of just letting yourself go and letting yourself detach, you hang on to something that doesn't truly align with your core values and your desires, and you end up wasting your own time. Now, when you are hanging on to people and things, habits that do not align with you, it can't do anything but teach you a lesson. Okay? It can't do anything but teach you a lesson. It's not going to help you grow. It's not going to help you evolve while you're in this situation, right? It's not going to satisfy you. It's not going to make you happy. All it's going to do is make you feel confined and restrained until you detach yourself from that and you move on to what you actually align with. So, boundaries is self-love, right? When I had no boundaries, people did not respect me. When I had no boundaries, people did not people did not respect me. People ran over me. People were entitled. You know what I'm saying? And that actually ended up creating harmful friendship dynamics versus if I just had boundaries from the beginning, right? I would have still, had healthy dynamics with certain friends. But because I had no boundaries, people felt entitled. People saw me as a pushover or the girl that always will say yes. And the moment I decided to say no and actually stand up for myself and actually have boundaries, that's when people had a problem with me. They say that if you have someone that actually has boundaries and respect for themselves and they say no all the time, right? The first time they say yes, people are going to overly appreciate it. People are going to be overly happy because you never say yes. So it's like the first time you say yes, people actually respect it. People actually appreciate it. But if you're someone that always says yes, yeah, sure, I'll do it. Yeah, sure, okay, I'll do it. Okay, I'll do it. Right? And you don't require people to show up for you in the same way or give you some type of reciprocal exchange. When you're always saying yes, the first time you say no, people gonna have a problem with it. People are going to have a problem with it, okay? And people are going to have a problem with you because they're going to take it personal because it's not really like you, right? We're humans of pattern. We recognize patterns, right? So once again, if you're someone that constantly has boundaries and you're constantly saying no, right? The first time you say yes, people will actually appreciate it. But if you're always saying yes, you're always giving people what they want, you're always loaning people money, even though they don't pay you back. You're always giving out rides. You're always doing things for people and giving out free this, free that. People are going to expect that from you because that's the pattern. That's the pattern of that's the pattern that you're creating with them. That's the dynamic that y'all have. And the first time you say no, people will take it personal. Right? So having boundaries for yourself and saying no actually helps you maintain your friendships and keeps your friendships at a healthy dynamic. Right? You don't have to get mad at anyone. Resentment won't build between you and someone else. They already know how you are. And they respect you because you have respect for yourself. Now, saying no can apply to a multitude of different areas in your life. It doesn't have to be just with friends or doing things for people. Saying no can be your own vices, right? Saying no can be that can apply to your own vices when it comes to your bad habits. Let's say you're trying to start a business, or let's say you're trying to start a YouTube channel, right? And you work a 9 to 5, but on your free time, you want to start building this channel so you can start selling your own products, so you can start building your brand. But every time you get off work, you smoke a blunt, you watch TV, right? You never really get to writing down your topics. You never really get to turning on that camera and recording. You never really get to doing your makeup and, doing your hair and getting camera ready. You always push it back, right? Sometimes you have to tell yourself no. Sometimes you have to tell yourself no. Because once again, we're humans of pattern. We like feeling comfortable, right? We sometimes don't like to go out of our comfort zone. But in order to reach new heights, you got to do some shit you ain't never did before, right? You got to do some shit you ain't never did before. I'm loving this, Breezie. Thank you, Corinne. Literally, right? So sometimes you have to tell yourself, no, I'm not doing that tonight. No, I'm not rolling up until I get my video done. No, I'm not even eating until I get my video done, right? Because sometimes after you eat, you get the itis and you fall asleep. You don't feel like doing nothing, right? So you build your confidence when you have boundaries in your life. You naturally build your confidence when you have boundaries. Because with boundaries comes a certain standard of living, right? People with no standards end up having a low quality life because they never expected more. They never demanded more. The only difference between women with friends, a network, relationships that are high value, that are valuable to their lives, that can actually add to them, versus women that have friends that don't add nothing, that have a relationship where the guy is nothing but a liability. The only difference between these two women are the decision. The decision. The decisions that they made for their lives. This one made the decision to only accept a certain caliber of people. Chose to only accept a certain caliber of energy. This person just said, you know what? I'm gonna accept anything because I'm afraid that I'm not gonna have anybody, right? This was the abundant mindset, the person that actually said no to people and to things and to whatever did not serve them. The one that accepted everyone actually had the limited mindset. Isn't that crazy how that works, right? So the thing about having an abundant mindset is not thinking that, oh, I'm just gonna give everything to everybody. That's not abundant, honey. It's the intention. It's the intention, right? The intention has to be abundant, or the root of it has to be abundance, right? So for example, once again, if you have the girl that keeps all of her liability friends around her because she's afraid that she's not going to meet anyone like that, or she's not going to build any more friendships, or she has social anxiety, so she feels like she's not going to make any more friends, right? The intent behind not wanting to detach from those friends is feeling like you won't, right? It's feeling like you won't. It's feeling like you can't. Because that's the intention, that makes the whole mindset limited. That makes the whole mindset low vibrational, right? Versus the other girl that's like, you know what? I'm not going to have broke mindset friends, right? I'm not going to have a liability friends. I'm not going to have hater friends. The first innuendo you throw at me, I'm not talking to you anymore. The first time you throw some type of shade at me, I'm not talking to you anymore. You know what I'm saying? So the intention behind those decisions is, guess what? I'm going to find another one. I can, and I will. That's the difference, right? So it's like the person with all the friends that add nothing to them actually live in a low vibrational state of mind. But the person that has a small circle, okay, the person that has a tiny circle, but everyone in their circle is valuable and adds value to their lives, they are actually vibrating way higher, right? So you have to remember that, when you want better for yourself, you have to choose that and not be afraid of the space in limbo, right? You can't be afraid of new territory. You can't be afraid of, oh, I'm gonna be single if I break up with my boyfriend that is literally leeching off me, that literally talks to me crazy, that don't add no value to my life. This is not how I see my life. This is not how I imagine myself living, So instead of, being with him and dealing with him, I know that I can attract better because I know my value. I know I can find better. And I'm not going to be afraid of being single. I'm not going to be afraid. I don't even know how long this is going to be, but I trust God. I trust my journey. And I'm not going to be afraid of the unknown, right? You can't be afraid because, once again, fear is another low vibrational state of mind. Fear is low vibrational in general. But what's the opposite of fear? Courage. Courage. Fear is the limited mindset. Courage is the abundance mindset. Right? So The way you build your confidence in yourself, let's just talk about confidence right now. Confidence is when you have faith in yourself, undying faith in yourself. No matter what you go through in life, you know that you will overcome certain things. You know that you will traverse certain situations because you know yourself, right? So number one, the thing that will help you build confidence in yourself is learning yourself and acknowledging who you are in all aspects, light and dark. That's why they say that doing shadow work is so important, because everybody knows the good things about them, right? Everybody knows the great things about them, but not everyone is willing to acknowledge the dark things about them. And when you understand both, when you understand your light side and your dark side, you understand you more. And the more you understand yourself, you know what type of people you need in your life, what type of people you want in your life, right? Let's say that you are a person who is very sensitive, and you're very sensitive to like bullying or mean comments, and you don't really have friend dynamics where, you know, you're constantly going back and forth with a friend, or y'all are joning on each other, or, you know, making fun of each other. Like, that's not your type of friendship, right? You see other girls, you know, with those type of friendships where they're yelling at each other, or they, you know, they yell at each other in public, or they may put hands on each other or play fight or whatever. But you're not that type of girl. Like, you don't play fight your friends. You don't, you know, argue with your friends in public. You don't try to sun your friends. Like, you're not that type of girl, right? Let's say you understand that about yourself. You know yourself, right? You know what type of friends you want. You know how you are. You know how you are. You know that if someone tries to embarrass you in public, you don't really take that shit as a joke. You know what I'm saying? You don't really take it as a joke. You're like, is that bitch a hater? You know, you're instantly taking things personal, right? So because you know that about yourself, you know to stay away from people who have that type of personality, because being around girls that are like that, right? Because there are a lot of girls like that, it will trigger you. It'll trigger you. It'll throw you off. It'll make you see yourself different, right? When you're around people that make you feel uncomfortable, or make you feel like you're constantly walking on eggshells, or, you know, you constantly have to be like quick on your words when it comes to like having comebacks and stuff like that. Like, no one wants to feel like that. No one wants to feel like, when I'm around this person, I constantly have to have a comeback, or I have to be quick on my feet when I'm around this person because she's constantly throwing shade, or she's constantly throwing innuendos. Don't nobody want to feel like that. So instead of, you know, being around her just because I've known her since elementary school, or being around her just because you know, we've been friends for so long, or I've known her for so long, you know, instead of taking those factors into consideration, I'm going to acknowledge the new normal. I'm going to acknowledge who I know myself to be today and what makes me comfortable today. And I'm just not going to be around them. I'm not going to be around her. And she can go argue with one of her other friends, or cause mayhem and chaos with one of her other friends, because clearly that's what she like. You know what I'm saying? So understanding yourself. Another thing that helps me understand myself is astrology. You know, not to, you know, try to convince anyone, but astrology has helped me so much with understanding myself. And it's like, when you study your natal chart, it's not like you're reading things that you didn't know about yourself. Everything is always just reaffirming who you are, right? So if I read something like my hey Calmas, I'm an Aquarius, and January 30th. But let's say I read like my Mars in Cancer, right? My Mars in Cancer placement, and I try to get certain opinions and dissertations about that online. Everything that I've read about Mars in Cancer states, or includes, certain information about how Mars in Cancer people have a very delayed temperament, right? So in the moment, we won't react. right? Versus, like, let's say a Mars and Aries, maybe someone that's very reactive, like immediately, but they don't hold a grudge or something like that, right? Or versus like a Taurus in Cancer, a Mars in Taurus may be someone that, holds things in, or, what I'm saying, like, or just like the different type of energies or whatever. But yeah, so with my Mars in Cancer, I tend to hold things in, right? And it doesn't come out until it's has literally so much energy built up that I just explode. I explode on people. Like, but it has to be years of just compiled things on top of each other, right? And I knew that about myself. Like, I know how I am. But me reading that, or me, hearing different astrologers reaffirm that, I'm like, okay, that really is how I am. So, and other people know this, like other astrologers know this, you know what I'm saying? So it's not just a me thing, it's something that can be calculated, right? So I'm like, okay, now that I'm hearing that again being told to me, I'm like, now I have to figure out ways to get ahead of that. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want to be that person, right? Now with astrology, there's polarity to everything. So let's say you have a placement and you read about the debilitations or the shadow side of that placement. There's always going to be a light side as well. So just because you have a placement that one astrologer says is a debilitation, another astrologer can say, well, this is actually a strength of yours, right? So it's all about perception. Now, you can always fall to the dark side or you can fall to the light side. There's low vibrations, there's high vibrations, right? So you have to choose for yourself. Okay, well, I know I'm the type of person that, bottles stuff in, and I tend to, hold anger in. And when I get good and damn well ready, I explode on people, right? Now that I know that about myself, I don't want to fall to the dark side of that placement. I don't want to be that person that is constantly going off on people seemingly out of nowhere, right? And burning bridges or scaring people, because I've done that. I probably scared a lot of people in my lifetime. Because they don't even expect that from me, right? So because I know that I can be that, and I have been that before, now I'm going to choose to get ahead of that by doing certain things. Like, for example, like, because I hold stuff in, instead of doing that, the first time somebody offends me, I'm going to try to bring it up in a very soft manner. Like, why'd you say that? Like, I don't say stuff like that to you. I try to make a joke about it, right? So I can try to nip it in the butt before I start to, hate this person and they don't even know I hate them. You know what I'm saying? So it's like astrology helped me. It just reaffirmed who I already was. And sometimes, like, you don't really, like, yourself, but you can't really explain yourself like that, right? Like, let's say if I was in high school and someone asked me to explain my temperament, I probably wouldn't even know how to explain it, because I wasn't clear about how I was technically, right? But, reading my natal chart and studying my astrology and stuff like that, it just helped me be more clear on who I am, and I can explain it better, and I just have more clarity, right? So now I know how to get ahead of things so I don't fall to the dark sides of my personality. Everyone has demons. Everyone has a dark side to their personalities. You know what I'm saying? So that's why, that's one way astrology helped me get to know myself. And now, because I can get ahead of these things and I know who to hang out with and who not to hang out with, or what to do when I get triggered, right? Now that I know myself, I have more confidence in who I am in any room with anybody. Because I already know. I already know. You can't tell me something that I don't know about myself. You can't throw something in my face I don't know about myself, or that I haven't confronted within myself already. You can't trigger me, because I already know my triggers, honey. I already know myself. I already know my triggers. I already know what pisses me off. I already know what makes me mad. And guess what? I already know what happens on the opposite side of that. I already know what happens when I blow up on people. Everyone gets scared of me and everyone cuts me off. I already know what happens when I blow up. I'm a whole volcano in this motherfucker, okay? So, knowing more about yourself builds your confidence because you're solid within yourself, right? You already know, like nothing can trigger you, nothing can throw you off, nothing can take you out of character, right? Because you already know, you already know what to do, you already know how to handle yourself, you know? So, with emotional intelligence, controlling your responses to people increases your confidence. Not letting people get you out of character, not letting people, get you in this low vibrational state. That will help increase your confidence. So one time, right, I was throwing this Valentine's Day event. And it was like a day before Valentine's Day. So I invited my homegirls and I cooked and I had these cute little goodie bags with this like red lipstick and like, Valentine's Day sexy theme type stuff or whatever. And one of my, okay, so I invited friends that were in and out of my friend circle, right? Now, the problem with that is one of my friends that I invited that wasn't in my circle had beef or like I didn't even think it was a beef. It was kind of just like they fell out like years ago, but they haven't talked really since then. But it was weird. Like I thought they were cool, but apparently they weren't, long story short. So I invited both of them to my event, right? Now, the one that had the problem, or I think she had the main problem, she ended up coming a little bit late. And when she pulled up, she was slap drunk, right? Now, I think she came drunk because she needed some liquid courage to be around this other girl, right? Because maybe she wanted to confront her, or maybe she probably felt like it would be awkward being in the same room as her. So yeah, she came slap drunk. And when she got there, she was just causing trouble. Okay? She was causing trouble. And I knew that it had to do something with the other girl being there because every time I had events at my house, she never came drunk. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just like, why is she drunk, So she was up in there causing trouble, confronting the girl, exactly what I thought she would do, and just doing all this stuff, right? Now, when her and the girl ended up arguing at my event, right? Now, in the midst of their arguing, she ends up trying to throw me under the bus, right? Multiple times. So first she ends up saying, Zakia told me to say something to you or whatever, which was a lie. I did not tell that girl to do that. Okay? I did not tell that girl to do that. But the first time she tried to, throw me under the bus, I let it slide because, I knew she was drunk. And I knew she probably needed to throw me under the bus to make it seem like she had a reason to confront her or whatever, right? So I let it go. Then she ended up saying it again. Like, she said something like, that's why Zakia don't even like you, or something like that. And then she started telling, airing out our private conversations or whatever. But the thing is, these conversations, me and this girl, the girl she was arguing with, we done fell out a few times because I didn't hold my tongue when it came to that girl. So it's nothing she said out loud in that room was anything me and the girl haven't argued about already or fell out about and made up about already. But the thing is, I was so insecure about her making me look fake in front of a room full of people that I got triggered, right? Now, I always look back at this and I just get secondhand embarrassment for myself because it's Zakia, if you already know, if you and the girl already knew where y'all stood, why did you defend yourself, right? So in that moment, I should have just been I should just let her talk. I should let her talk. I should have let her look crazy. Even if she tried to throw me under the bus and said, Zakia don't even like you, or Zakia said this, Zakia said that, I should have been that's what I should have done, right? But because I was trying to, defend myself and da-da-da, I went back and forth with her. You don't even know, I done told her everything, da-da-da. And we were going back and forth. And we were like literally yelling in each other's face. And me and this friend don't argue like this. Like we've never had an argument like this ever. So we're going back and forth. I'm defending my honor and defending my, whatever, because I don't want people to look at me a different way or whatever I was afraid of at that time, right? And we end up, like, it gets kind of crazy. Like, people had to actually, like, pull me outside on my porch and pull her outside my apartment, whatever. And one of my homegirls texted me later, and she was like, Zakia, she was like, why did you get out of character like that? Like, if you would have just let her talk, you would have let her look stupid in that situation. But you know what they say, when you see two people arguing with each other, you can't tell which one is the stupid one. Y'all, what's that phrase? What's the correct version of that phrase? Because I know I said it wrong. But it's like when you're arguing with a stupid person, not literally saying she's stupid, but I'm just saying the phrase. But when you're arguing with a stupid person from afar, people can't tell which one's which, right? So after she said that, I felt so ashamed of myself. Like, I just felt like she literally like siphoned my energy in that moment because I was weak, because I didn't have the confidence in myself in that moment. Like, I was so afraid of people looking at me a certain way or looking at me, like I was fake or I was talking about people behind their back or whatever, that I met her at her level. You know what I'm saying? And in the end, I felt so exposed. I felt so exposed. I felt so stupid. And I felt weak in that moment. And ever since then, I was like, you know what? I'm never going back and forth with someone ever again, especially in public or especially in front of like a group of people. I don't care what they say about me. I don't care what they say. I let her get under my skin, and I just felt so exposed in that moment. I felt like she literally took my power from me. But it's because I gave my power up, essentially, right? But if I was confident in myself in that moment, if I, stood strong in my convictions and, in me and the girl's relationship, I never had to defend myself. I never had to go back and forth with her. So in that moment, I wasn't sure of myself. I wasn't sure. I was so afraid of people seeing me a certain type of way that, I got down on her level, and in the end, I looked guilty probably anyway. I looked more guilty than I would have if I just would have sat there, right, and just let her ramble. So, I learned so much about myself in that moment, right? So yeah, like, you have to know yourself. You have to be sure and stand firm in who you are. And you have to believe that no one can expose you. Nobody can, dig up skeletons in you that you haven't already dug up and confronted within yourself. You can't expose me. Bitch, I already exposed myself. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't hold me accountable. I already hold myself accountable. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, like, so going back to, the subject for today, say no. Say no. Do not engage. Do not overgive. Do not overextend your energy. Do not. Have standards for yourself. Have boundaries. Stand firm on your boundaries. And that's how you increase your confidence in yourself. Knowledge of self. Knowing yourself. Knowing who you are. That will help you increase the confidence that you have in yourself. Now, with my acute version of body dysmorphia, right? Sometimes I like my body, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I look in the mirror and I say, damn, I look good. Other times I look in the mirror and say, girl, you was falling off. Every other day, every other day, sometimes I have different opinions about myself, and sometimes I'm insecure, sometimes I'm not. That body dysmorphia stuff, it can really like play with your mind, right? The only thing that I realized helped with my body dysmorphia is eating healthy every day. Even if I didn't see results, right? So let's say I'm wanting to lose 10 pounds or whatever, because I see my face kind of looking round, and my shoulders, my neck look kind of big. I'm just like, I look kind of weird or whatever. I don't feel like myself, right? So to other people, I may look perfectly fine, right? But to me, I just don't like how I look, because I'm just used to seeing myself a certain way on camera or whatever the case may be, right? The only thing that helps with my image of myself and my perception of myself is me consciously choosing to eat right every single day, even before I see results. But the thing that makes me confident in myself is the fact that I'm proud of everything that I ate today. I'm proud of the fact that I ate a salad instead of a 10-piece lemon pepper. I'm proud of the fact that I went hiking and I went exercising instead of sitting at home smoking a blunt. I'm actually proud of myself, right? So the fact that I took steps to love myself actually made me look at myself differently immediately. Instead of looking at myself like, oh, I hate my body. Oh, I don't like this. I don't like this. I looked at myself like, I'm a work in progress. I'm a work in progress. And because I have faith in myself that I'm going to eat right tomorrow again, and because I have faith in myself that I'm going to work out again tomorrow, I'm not even worried about the state I'm in right now, because I know where I'm going. I know where I'm headed, right? So just doing little things for yourself, loving on yourself, eating things that don't make you feel guilty afterwards, right? Every time I eat something that I know I should not be eating, pasta, wings, things I love, okay? Every time I eat something that I feel guilty about eating after, it don't matter how my body look to other people, I'm never happy. Because really, it's not even like a how I look thing, right? It's about how I feel about myself thing. It's not even about, like, that's why sometimes, like, you can get a compliment. People be like, oh my God, you're so pretty today. Or you're so pretty without makeup. Or, your body's looking good. And you don't believe them. You're like, are you trying to gaslight me? You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't even believe them. You can't even take in the compliment because you have so much guilt about how you've been treating yourself lately. You have so much guilt about how you haven't been working out lately and you know you should. You have so much guilt about how you've been eating lately and you know you should be eating right. You know what to eat. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times it's not even really about how you look. It's about how you feel about yourself. So when you do things for yourself that emulate self-love, when you do things for yourself and eat certain things that make you feel proud of yourself, you begin to love yourself and see yourself different before you even physically begin to change. So it's all about how you treat yourself, right? What you're putting in your body. Are you proud of what you ate today? Are you proud of what you did today? Or do you have a little bit of guilt about how you did today? Did you waste time? Did you procrastinate? Right? And when we have so many days of feeling guilty, that's when we fall into this depression. When we have like a week of feeling guilty, that's when we feel like we're at a point of no return. Like, I'm a goner. I hate myself. Oh. Then when we go into months and months and months of straight guilt, that's when we feel depressed. Right? That's when we feel depressed. So it's all about how you treat yourself. How you treat yourself is how you see yourself, right? And also how you treat yourself can also relate to who you choose to be around, who you choose as a partner, who you choose as friends. Do you low-key in the pit of your heart have guilt about staying with this partner because you know they're not treating you right? You know they're not, the person you need them to be. Do you have that low-key guilt? Right? Or are you proud of your partner? When you talk about your partner to your family, are you always giving excuses? Y'all don't understand him. Y'all don't understand him. I'm the only one that understand him. Are you talking like that? Or are you proud of your partner? Are you proud of him? Are you bragging about what he's doing for you? Are you bragging about how much he loves you? Are you bragging about how much he, speaks highly of you when y'all are not in the same room? Are you giving excuses? Or are you bragging? Are you guilty? Do you feel guilty? Or do you feel proud? Right? So there are certain ways to build your confidence. It's all about loving yourself, giving yourself the best. It's all about knowing yourself. It all goes back to you. It all goes back to pouring into you. Right? So, y'all, let me get some opinions. Y'all have any questions? I have about 20 more minutes to talk about this before my client comes, and I have to leave y'all. So make sure y'all get y'all questions in now, or y'all comments or whatever, so we can go ahead and have a dialogue and discuss this. But yeah, you have to say no to certain things. You have to have standards for yourself. You have to have boundaries for yourself. You can't be afraid that if you say no, you're never going to have another opportunity, because that is low ass vibrational thinking. That is limited thinking. You have to know that, you know what, if you're not acting right, or if you're not adding value, or if you're not reciprocating the same energy I'm giving you, right? Or if me and you are not aligned, I know I can align with somebody else. I know that I can attract somebody else. You have to know that. You got to know that. When you're in a room and someone is testing you, someone is testing your gangsta, or you're in a situation where you don't necessarily have to prove yourself, because in some situations you do have to stand your ground to let other people know I'm not to be played with, right? But if you're in a situation to where you really don't have to do that, but someone is still trying you, or someone is still trying to throw you under the bus, or lie on you, or bully you, or whatever the case may be, you have to be strong. You have to stand firm that, you know what? I'm going to say nothing and let this person look stupid. I'm going to let this person look like a bully all by themselves. I'm going to make them look ignorant all by themselves. I don't have to defend myself. I don't have to fight for myself, because guess what? My actions are going to speak for me. How I respond to this person is going to speak for me, right? So certain things, there are certain ways you can tell someone is confident. And here are the ways, or some ways that I can think of. Number one, when someone says, oh, I don't eat bread, or I don't eat meat, or, whatever the case may be, or I don't eat something, they have some type of standard for their diet. That's how you know somebody loves themselves. That's how you know somebody has confidence. When they have standards for their diet, when they can say no to things, when they can rise above their emotions and rise above their cravings and say no to certain foods, even if they used to love those foods back in the day, or even currently, right? They may still love those foods, but because they have standards for their life and standards for their body, they say no to certain things because they know it's not gonna actually help them, right? That's how you know someone has confidence. Number two, when you see someone that only has high vibrational friends. They may have that one friend, you know what I'm saying, that's ratchet or ghetto, whatever the case may be, but I guarantee you that friend still got shit going on. I guarantee you that friend still has motion. Okay? No matter how their personality is, that friend can still loan them money if they needed it, or still pick them up if they needed it, or still call them an Uber if they needed it, because that friend still has motion. People with confidence do not hang around liabilities. They don't. They don't. Because they have standards for their life. They want better. They see themselves, in a certain way. So they don't want to get used by certain people. And a lot of times, before people actually have high vibrational type friends, they've had the low vibrational friends. They've been there, done that. They fought their friends. They fell out with their friends. They've been there. They've overextended themselves. They've bent over backwards for years. They've been there, done that. Okay? So people that consciously choose to be around high vibrational people, they have confidence. Okay? Number 3, girls that leave the house looking like something have confidence. Okay? Yes, she may still have insecurities because everyone has insecurities, but because she chose to leave the house with her lip gloss on, maybe some mascara on at least, her eyebrows done at least, an outfit that looks put together at least, right? At least her hair is a little bit done. You know what I'm saying? She don't have to have a full face of makeup on, but at least she looks presentable. People that put at least 30 minutes to an hour in their presentation to the world, oh, they have confidence. They have confidence. People that leave the house with literally like looking crazy, didn't brush their teeth, didn't wipe the little boogers out their eyes. People that leave the house looking like who did it and why, that does not exude confidence. Now, of course, there are some days where you can't leave the house looking a certain way because maybe you are just in a super duper rush, right? But even then, you know, you do want to buy certain clothing that you can put on in 2 seconds that doesn't look like you just rolled out of bed, right? You want certain, like you want to replace your hoodies with jackets and blazers. You want to replace your dirty sneakers with, you know, new sneakers or something that you can put on where even if you have to get dressed in 1 second, even if you're rushing in the morning, you can still leave your house looking like something, right? So people with confidence make sure that they stay ready so they don't have to get ready. Okay? Make sure your closet stay ready. Make sure your clothes, your clothing stay ready so you don't ever have to leave the house looking like who did it and why. Right? Another sign of confidence, when people are very bougie about who they give their energy to, who they invite over their house, right? Who they do, who they, you know, just associate with just in general. This goes back like to the friend thing as well. But it extends beyond friends. It's everyone. It's like who they do business with. It's who they're in a relationship with. You know, everyone, like they just have bougie standards, like in your eyes, right? But to them, it's like the bare minimum because they've been through ghetto situations. They've been through abuse. They've been through bullying. They've been through getting taken advantage of. They've been through not being appreciated. So now their new standard for themselves in their life is being with people that reciprocate energy. And if you're not reciprocating energy, baby, you can exit stage left, okay? Because I'm not dealing with it no more. People like that who are very picky about who they're around, these people believe that if one person don't work in their life, they'll find another one. They're like the personification of one monkey don't stop the show. Okay? One monkey don't stop the show. Okay, period. So listen, if one relationship don't work out, baby, I can find another one and a better one. Okay? A better one. Because listen, if you even have the capability of burning a bridge with me, I know it was you. I know it was you. I know. Like, you have to have so much confidence that you're a good person. You have to have so much confidence that you are a valuable, resourceful, supportive person that anyone that can't get along with you, they gotta hate themselves. It's like the Beyonce thing, right? Like when they say if you don't like Beyonce, that clearly means you hate yourself. It's kind of just it's kind of like that. Like Beyonce don't do nothing to nobody. Okay, Beyonce puts her all in her performances, her all in her albums. You know, she goes above and beyond. Like she's professionally trained. She gets better and better and better every single year, meaning she's continuing to master her craft. Like if you got a problem with Beyonce, you obviously got a problem with yourself. Like, I can understand you can have a preference, right? She may not be your preference. She may make the type of music you don't like to listen to, which is understandable. But to actually degrade her or downplay her, come on now. Come on, like, let's be real. Let's be real. Do you have some internal issues? Okay? So, yes, like people who have standards for who they're around, who they're in a relationship with. Now, uh, let me think of another one. Another sign that someone has confidence. I don't know. What y'all think? Y'all have any suggestions or anything to add on? What are signs that someone really has confidence with themselves? So yes, y'all, say no. Say no to people. Say no to people that do not rise up to your standards, right? Assuming that you live on these standards and you live by these standards as well. Like, you can't expect princess treatment and royal treatment from people when you don't reciprocate that energy to other people, right? So assuming that you are a deserving person, right? Say no to people that do not pour into you. Say no to people that do not respect you or respect your time, respect your energy. Say no, distance yourself, fall back from people who be throwing innuendos, people who throw shade, right? They don't support you. They love to criticize you. Fall back. Fall all the way back. I'm straight on you. I'm straight. I'm good. I don't need no more criticism. I don't need someone like, come on now. Get that negative energy from around me. Period. Say no to men that are low energy. Low energy, that expect the utmost energy and enthusiasm from you, but don't want to spend nothing on you to impress you, to make you smile, to make you laugh. That you don't want to spend nothing. You don't want to do nothing. Like, you think that I'm just gonna fall in love with you through these text conversations and your love bombing? You don't want to put in no energy. You don't want to take me on no date to make me smile. You don't want to buy me no gifts to make me blush. You don't want to, take me to a movie to make me laugh. You don't want to do nothing. Say no. Say no. Fall back. Detach. Okay? Say no to increase your confidence, right? Now, the thing is, when you start saying no to things and people and bad habits, and when you start to really increase the standards of your life, people will start to view you like you're acting different, right? Oh, you bougie. Oh, you're vain, right? Or you're cocky, or you think you all that, right? Well, first of all, I never said that. So was that a projection? I never said I was all that. Is that what you feel about me? Is that how you feel? Say the thing. Say the real thing, right? People will start to look at you like you think you're better than people. And that is one way to, decide who you need to be around and who you don't need to be around. Hey, Tanisha, what's going on? So, yeah, when you start to choose better for yourself and you start to increase your standards when it comes to people, places, and things, you will have a few people that are triggered by that, right? Because they probably haven't reached their journey of self-love. They haven't reached their journey of self-respect because they are still in that fearful, low vibrational state of mind. They're still in that fearful state of mind that if they let go of something, that they'll never attract more. Or if they let go of this relationship, that they'll never find another partner. Or if they let go of these friends or let go of this job, that they'll never find another one. So people who are locked in that fear mindset, they will get offended. They will get offended. And they won't mind letting you know either. Okay? They will let you know that you are bougie. They will let you know that you are arrogant. They will let you know that you're cocky, right? because they're stuck. They're stuck in that fearful mindset. They're stuck in that low vibrational state of mind. And the only thing you can do is just pray for their salvation. Pray for their sovereignty. Pray for their freedom. You know what I'm saying? Their mental freedom. Pray that they build the courage. Pray that they build, the courage to choose certain things for themselves, even if they have to walk a narrow road, right? Even if they are without a partner for a few months or a few years, if they're without friends for a few months or a few years, pray that they have the confidence that they're going to make it out that situation with even more, right? All you can do is pray for them, because you can't force courage into people. You cannot force confidence into people. They have to do that for themselves, right? They have to do it for themselves. You can't do it for them. You can let them know how great they are, how beautiful they are. Absolutely, exactly. You can let them know how much potential they have, but you can't do the work for them. You can't. And then, like, people let go of certain things when they're ready to, right? Like, I'm pretty sure that people probably looked at me like I was insane when I still had certain people around me for too long or whatever, right? But at that time, I wasn't ready. I just wasn't ready. Just how, like, you have a friend and she has a boyfriend that is super freaking toxic, and you have no idea why she's dating that person. And you're just like, every time you try to speak some sense into her or try to let her see who that guy really is, and she be getting mad at you, or she be like, stay out my business, right? Every time she tells you anything about this man, it's bad things or it's traumatizing things, but she don't never come around and say the good things, right? So your perception of this man is all bad. So every time you make an opinion about him, she'd be like, stay out of our business. That's not your business, right? Or even worse, friends that cut off their friends because of their opinions about their partner, right? Sometimes you just gotta be like, listen, that hoe ain't ready. She ain't ready. She's just not ready. She has a fearful mindset that she's not going to find another one. She has a fearful, limited, low vibrational mindset that she can't find better. She is too attached, and there's nothing I can do about it. Okay? So, sometimes you have to give people space and grace to learn their own lessons and get out their own fears, because, you had to do the same thing. There are certain things that you're afraid of that you were hanging on to and holding on to for too long. Everyone has certain things that they're afraid to let go of, or that they can't let go of at the moment. So that's not a time to judge people, right? It's a time to show compassion, give people space and grace, and all you can do is pray. And if they ask you for your opinion, you give your honest opinion, but you don't force them to do anything, right? Because you can't force them. I remember one time, me and my ex broke up one time, and when we broke up, I went to my mom's house and I was telling her how abusive he was or whatever, right? So I told her that he punched and shattered my windshield on my car, because he did, right? Now, at the time, when he punched my windshield and he like shattered it, it's weird, because I had like this very calm like state like of mind or whatever. Like, I wasn't super angry at him. I wasn't super scared or anything. I was like very calm, because I'm just like, did he just fucking punch my windshield? You know what I'm saying? Like, I was very calm. And he was like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do it. And then, like, he was like going crazy or whatever. And at that time, like, I chose to comfort him. Like, it's okay. Like, I know you didn't do it on purpose, even though he would never punch his own windshield and shatter it. You know what I'm saying? But I was like, whatever. So when we broke up, I was telling my mom, yeah, he punched my windshield and he shattered it or whatever. And my mom was like, oh no, he's abusive. She was like, leave him. She was like, Zakia, leave him. And, you better not go back with him and blah, 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 right? So at that time, you know, I was, you know, all cool, all good with that. But then when we made up like a week later, I told my mom, like, you know, we're back together or whatever. And my mom was like, Zakia, she was like, I told you he was abusive. Like, why would you go back with him? You know what I'm saying? Like, if a guy would punch and shatter your windshield, you know, you're next, you know? And I had the nerve to tell my mom, well, he punched my windshield, not my face. At that moment, I know my mom knew I was far gone. I know she was like, you know what, Zakia is far gone. She's done. There's no saving her. She don't want to be saved. Okay? So in that moment, I was just so, I was not ready. I wasn't ready. So, okay, so y'all, my client just texted me and she's here, so I have to go ahead and open up the door for her. But I'm so mad I didn't get her earlier to have a longer live. But thank you guys so much for tuning into the live. I'm going to continue this topic later on. And yeah, just, you know, at that time, y'all, I was not ready. Okay, I wasn't ready to see the light. Okay. But yes, say no to things that do not serve you in order to increase your confidence, right? Even though you may not be in the state you want to live in or the house you want to live in, you may not have the body that you want yet. Your bank account may not, you know, be where you want it to be, or whatever the case may be. Your external world may not reflect who you, right? It may not reflect who you want to be, but as long as you are going in the right direction and you're choosing the best for yourself and you have boundaries and actually proud of who you are and who you're becoming, right? That'll still increase your confidence and you'll still have confidence in yourself no matter what stage you are in your journey, right? So, yes, choose the best for yourself and you'll be proud of yourself at every stage. So, once again, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I'm about to leave and do my client, and I'll see y'all in the next live. Peace.